Joe Duffy, CEO of OffshoreInsiders.com. It is time to take in the official sports betting preview of the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos, the AFC Championship game for the 2025-26 season. And please, if you want more great information like this, plus you want free picks on a daily basis, make sure you both like and subscribe. Please like this video. It's your way of telling me you want more videos like this, big game previews from a sports betting standpoint. And it's also a way to tell the search engines that you like me. So we appreciate if you would like and subscribe, at least like, and then you can wait until the end of this, and I'll convince you why you do need to subscribe. And make sure you also follow me on X Twitter at Offshore Insider. Now, I know there's some confusion because of this character limitations. My website is offshoreinsiders with an S at the end.com. But on social media, I'm at Offshore Insider. All right. The Patriots open up as a 5.5-point favorite with a total of 40.5. Obviously, as you know, the big story, Jarrett Stidham in at quarterback for Knicks. Knicks, of course, was having a fantastic year. Stidham, clearly a journeyman quarterback. The current line sees the New England Patriots at 5.5. And the best odds out there, though, are the Patriots minus 4.5, 108 if you do shop around. And the Broncos, you can get them at plus 4.5, but only minus 105. And I've mentioned it before, yes, I do have neuropathic itching, so if you want to play the sports betting version of Hi Bob, every time I got to scratch myself, make sure you take a drink, especially if you're like me and you're in the line of the storm and you're not going to be leaving the house and you're probably drinking some alcohol. So every time I do, take a drink. All right, the public betting, 73% of the bets and 59% of the money are on the Patriots. Now, that would imply maybe the Broncos are a little bit of a sharp play because a lot of people, not necessarily me, but I sometimes report and you decide, a lot of people say the bigger the difference between the money and the number of tickets, where when you're talking about the number of tickets, a $5 bet counts the same as a $5,000 bet. But a lot of people say if there's a decent difference that's into the double digits between the tickets and the spread, between the tickets and the money, you want to go where the money is. For the total, it is was 40.5, but now it is over 42.5 is the best line, and under 42.5, but at minus 105. So make sure you do shop around. 64% of the money is on the over. And, 64% of the bets are on the over, 61% of the money. So that's obviously pretty close. And the Patriots, the best odds, minus 238. Broncos' best odds are plus 205. Now some betting intel. The Patriots are 13-5-1 against the spread. They're covering by an average of 6.5 points per game. We call it the spread margin. People were calling it for a while the sweat barometer, margin of cover. But anyway, they're averaging covering their games by 6.5 points per game. Broncos are 8-9-1 this year against the spread. They are plus 0.8 points per game in the plus side they are covering this year. Denver's going under 10-8 by an average of 0.3 points per game. New England's going over. They've been a big over team this year, going over 12-7. But by smaller than you would expect, only by an average of 1.2 points per game. Now, according to team rankings, Denver has been the luckiest team in the NFL with 3.8 more wins than the stats say they should. And that's a full game. That's a big gap. Full game over the number 2 49ers, but guess who's number 3? New England is third at plus 2.4. Now, again, what this does basically is it takes advanced statistics and it says, we think a team's record should be this relative to what it actually is. So the theory being, and the proven theory, by the way, and if you get my picks, Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com, college basketball, NBA, we've really been exploiting this a lot more lately. Well, I'm having a great year in both. But the proven theory is that the luckier teams are going to be a bit overvalued, the unluckier teams undervalued. And even before we had all this fancy software and these statistics, I always knew, I said back in the 80s when I got my start in this business, don't let my handsome young looks fool you. I have been in this business since 1986 and full-time since 1988. But even then I knew that straight-up statistics were the most overrated stat when it comes to handicapping, and us tracking the luck factor has pretty much verified that. Now, the reason the numbers aren't perfectly rounded, it's not like the luck factor says this game you either should have won or lost and you did the opposite. So in other words, if you lose by 1 point, but according to advanced statistics say that you should have won by 1 point, that's not weighted the same as if you lost by 5, but the statistics imply that you should have won by 6. So that's why these numbers aren't perfectly well rounded. But again, Denver has been the luckiest team in the NFL by far by 3.8. And that would imply that they are overrated, overvalued. Action Network has this at New England minus 3.5, with the total should be 41.8. You know that we do love to use those power ratings, and we've used them with success. Another one of the publicly available ones, SportsLine, has New England winning only 21-19, with Denver covering 58% of their simulations, 10,000 simulations, by the way. And of those 10K simulations, 59% of them have gone under. MasseyRatings, which has been around forever, has New England winning 23-22. Now, I tapped into some of the opinions I trust. As you know, nobody picks the side and total better than I do, and I've got the side on both games. I also got the strongest total for the conference championships, and they're already up at offshoreinsiders.com. But Jared Stidham, of course, the Broncos, we like over 14 rushing yards. First of all, as a general rule of thumb, in the playoffs, the quarterbacks, they're encouraged to run whatever it takes. Don't protect yourself. They're going to fight for those extra yards, and especially Stidham, you know he's going to do everything he can possibly to impress. And also, in his last start, which was with the Raiders, he ran the ball 14 times. So we do expect him to run a lot, over 14 rushing yards. Also, anything that would involve number of rushes, take a long look at that. But I do think that Stidham is going to be running the ball a lot, and it will have some decent success. That's a pretty low over-under. Ramondre Stevenson over 47.5 rushing yards. He's averaging last several games. He's getting stronger as the year goes on. 7 yards per carry over the last 6 games he's averaging, and he's broken 16 tackles. He's also kind of taken over as the main guy for Travion Henderson, who... he's the hotter guy. Stevenson is the hotter guy, so I do think he's going to see the ball a lot, over 47.5 rushing yards. And likewise, we think he could easily be over the total number of rushes. You want the side on both of these games and the strongest total? We might wind up having the total on both games. You always want each and every day for the best picks in the industry. It's offshore. Insiders.com. Please like this and make sure you stay tuned. Check out this playlist for the best gambling advice in sports betting at offshoreinsiders.com.